Atlanta Lyric Theater is opening its production of The Full Monty this Friday, the 12th. We run from the 12th through the 28th of February. Performances are on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights at 8 o'clock and Sundays at 2. And the final Saturday, which would be February 27th, we also have a matinee at 2 o'clock on that day as well.
Now, what is this musical about?
Well, it's about a bunch of steel workers who are unemployed. They live in Buffalo, New York. They've been laid off from their jobs. The steel industry has sort of collapsed. So they have been unemployed for several months. They're a little desperate for money. One of the guys notices that some of the women in town are paying $50 to see a Chippendales kind of strip act. So they get this idea that they're going to put together their own act and charge money and sell tickets and make some quick cash for themselves. Of course, these steel workers are not what you would consider the normal strip kind of guy, if you follow me. They're just average Joes, you know, they're just blue-collar steel workers, and so none of them dance, none of them are built like strippers, really, so there's a lot of comedy to be had. But they, you know, the real storyline here is how these unemployed men come together, achieve something together as a group that they couldn't necessarily do by themselves, and how they learn about each other and learn about themselves. The story really is about how these men learn to love themselves so that they can accept love from other people and love other people in return. It's not really about stripping and taking your clothes off. It's just sort of the clothes hanger on which we base the show. So.
Now, does this show have anything to do with the movie that was out?
It absolutely does. It's an adaptation of that British movie from 1997. It stays very close to the story, actually. They have transported it from Sheffield, England to Buffalo, New York. They've added a character, Jeanette Burmeister, who is the accompanist. She's sort of a salty old theater dog. She accompanies them in their rehearsals. And they've changed a couple of names, added, you know, some minor characters, but pretty much stays very, very close to that British film.
A few questions. Someone asked, is this something good for a girls' night out?
It would be super for a girls' night out. As a matter of fact, I'm counting on all you women to show up here for girls' nights out. What you should do is you should get your bridge clubs or your whatever, your book clubs, and get together. Get a group together and come see us. I think you'll have a blast. It's good, you know, for all adult audiences, but I really think the women are going to have a blast with this one.
Where is this theater located?
We perform at 548 South Marietta Parkway. It is the Anderson Theater. It's a part of the Cobb Civic Center. It's right at the intersection of South Marietta Parkway and Fairground Streets, about a little less than a mile and a half from the Marietta Square. So there are plenty of restaurants up on the square if you want to go to dinner before. Sorry?
Any recommendations?
Sure. My favorite restaurant on the square is Kiosco. It's a Colombian restaurant. It's a tiny little restaurant. The food's excellent. And of course, Schilling's has always been a big supporter of the Lyric. They're right there on the corner in the square. Marietta Pizza, of course. Taqueria Tsunami's. It's a couple of years old now, but it's a very, very popular restaurant up on the square. If you like sushi, Tycoon is a really good restaurant over on Mill Street. There's several great restaurants up on the square.
Someone asked, tell us about the music. There's supposed to be a live orchestra?
It's a live orchestra.
About Marietta? Wow.
That's right, yeah.
It's like Broadway.
Yeah. The Atlanta Lyric actually has an agreement with the Musicians Union, so we have really terrific musicians in our pit. This particular show has about 10 musicians. We met them for the first time last night at our rehearsal, and they are kicking it. It's a great score. The score was written by a young man named David Yazbek. It was his first Broadway score, wow. And it's terrific. It's very clever. It's very catchy, very hummable. It's pop, rock, jazz oriented kind of score. It's really, really a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite things about the show, as a matter of fact. It's a really terrific score. Lots of fun.
So where can we get tickets for this?
You can get tickets online at www.atlantalyrictheater.com, or you can go call on the phone, and our phone number is 404-377-9948.
What's coming up next at the Lyric?
Well, after the Full Monty in February, we've got the Dreamgirls in April. That's cast, and we'll begin rehearsal, I guess, middle of March, I guess. And then it opens in April. And then we will close this season with West Side Story. That will be in June. And then we've got some add-on shows that are not a part of our regular subscription series. We'll be doing something at the Cobb Energy Center for the Performing Arts, that absolutely stunningly beautiful theater that, at Cumberland Boulevard and I-75. We'll be doing something there this summer. And then we've just announced most of our new season, the 2016-2017 season, will open in August with Shrek, the musical. And then in October, November, we're doing a chorus line. And then in February of 2017, we'll be doing $1 Million Quartet, about the night that Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, and the piano player, what's his name?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Thank you, Jerry Lee Lewis. About the night they all showed up at Sun Studios and had a little jam session with each other.
How do you guys score such good shows? I mean, that's really good.
You have to fight. I mean, of course, you have to get the licensing for shows from the people who hold the rights to them. And we have to jockey position with, the touring companies that come through Atlanta. So sometimes it's difficult. You can't always do, just whatever show you want to do. So you have to sort of plan your season carefully. But we managed to get we always manage to get terrific seasons. So $1 Million Quartet is in February, and then in the spring we'll be doing Jesus Christ Superstar. And then our last show is yet to be announced, but it's looking pretty good, like it's going to be a really big family favorite. So I can't announce it yet, but probably by opening night we'll have it secured.
Now, do you have some subscription services? Can they buy a subscription to the series?
Absolutely.
As an individual? How does it work?
Subscriptions are actually the most cost-effective way to buy tickets to the Lyric, and I highly recommend it. A lot of people are afraid of buying subscriptions in that they feel like they're locked into a particular performance on a particular night. That is not the case with the Lyric. If you get your season tickets, you get tickets to all 5 of the main stage shows. But you can be flexible with them. If you have a conflict, if you're ill or you're traveling, you can call the Lyric and exchange those tickets for another performance. It really is the most cost-effective way. The very best discount that we offer on Lyric tickets is for our season subscribers, and they're skyrocketing. This is a day and age when season subscriptions seem to be sort of going down, spiraling downward for most arts organizations, but for some reason ours are skyrocketing up. In the last couple of years, I think our subscription base has increased by about 27-28%, which is pretty phenomenal in a very short period of time. I think people are appreciating that savings on the money, and they appreciate our product. A lot of people tell us that our shows look like national tours and look like Broadway shows. They do.
Wow.
They're really
Broadway
quite good.
And Marietta, who would have thought?
There you go. Absolutely. Right here in your backyard.
Now, can you give us a pitch? Why should someone check out this show?
It's a lot of fun. It's very funny. It may not be for everybody. They feel like, it's a little too contemporary, a little too cutting edge, a little too risque for them. Maybe. Maybe not. I think there will be a lot of people who would be very surprised that it's really so much more about more than just men putting together a strip act. It's very, very funny. Some very endearing characters, and it's got a lot of heart. I was talking to my cast in notes the other night. There's a certain point where we get to in the show, and it just feels so warm. The characters have, they have these revelations, these self-revelations, and these revelations with their significant others, their spouses and
all about relationships.
Family. It's about relationships, and it really has this really huge heart. And I hope people will give it a shot. If you're afraid of seeing a little more skin on stage, than you might normally in a musical, then maybe it's not for you. But I think there's going to be a lot of people who are very pleasantly surprised that it's much more about the relationships and the learning to love yourself. Forgiving yourself for body issues, or forgiving yourself for not having enough money, or that sort of thing, failed relationships. It's a really, really wonderful, heartwarming story, and it's funny.
It's better than any reality TV show.
Any reality TV show.
Now, one last request from several of our people here. They want to take a sneak peek.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick little lobby tour. They're doing some construction. What is that construction out front?
This is the convention center, and they've been working on it. It's due to be finished, I think, around the 1st of March, but they've just added more lobby space to that building. And then we're actually standing in the lobby of the theater right now. Box office is over there.
Was this the
Yes, that is
patron?
Jenny Tate Anderson, for whom the theater is named. She was a huge arts supporter in this area, very beloved in Cobb County, and the theater is named after her. That's a portrait of her.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Shall we go on inside the house?
We're going to stand there in the lobby and
All right.
get a sneak peek.
We're going into the house now. It's going to be a little darker in here, but they're working on stage with some of the set pieces and some of the lights. Yeah, you want to come this way. We're not going to trip you down these stairs, but there's a spotlight right there, and you're looking at the stage. We're walking toward the
magic happens back there.
the stage manager's booth and where they run the show.
Wow,
and
this
here
is
we
a
are.
nice theater. How many people
great,
fit in here?
Great theater. It's about 606 seats. It's only 15 rows deep, so you're not going to be far from the stage. We're standing at as far back as you can sit right now. So it's very intimate. You're not far from the stage, even if you're on the back row.
Wow, that really looks like a great set.
Yeah. Of course, there's different pieces on the stage right now as they're working on them and hanging different things.
Not a bad seat in the house.
Not a bad seat in the house, that's for sure. And the acoustics are great in here. The house, you may not be able to see on your podcast there, is raked so that you can see over the heads of the row in front of you.
No problem with big heads.
That's right.
I have a big head. My barber the other day said, you have a wide top and a short bottom on your head. And I said, you're just calling me a big head. Well, thanks so much.
You're very
Appreciate
welcome.
That.
You're very welcome.
Check it live.
Absolutely.
And we will check y'all later. Check out the show starting when does it open?
It opens Friday night,
Friday night.
February the 12th, and runs through the 28th.
Broadway in Marietta, outside of Atlanta. Check it out.